I felt kind of Karen recently. I had to like this guy wouldn't let me into me and Ghost into to the painted or the painted park, and I was like, he's a service animal, and then he was calling it emotional support. And I was like, well, this is the difference, and eventually he was like, no, and I was like, I mean,
0821.
I don't want to have to get you. Tell on you, buddy, but you're forcing my hand.
I know.
I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna write an email. And I was like, all right, what's your name? And then like I turned my AI note taker on, and I say that, and then me and my buddy are leaving, and so I'm bitching about it. I'm like, I'm gonna shoot him an email, that asshole. And then I go to ask my AI note taker. I'm like, hey, what was the spelling of his name? And it tells me, and it goes, do you want me to draft that email you were talking about?
Fuck yeah, that's awesome.
I know.
What is this AI note taker? I need that.
Oh yeah, I'll send it to you. It's awesome. Welcome everybody to another episode of Once Upon a B&B.
This is Maha.
And this is Ian, and this is no guest.
Yeah.
Just us today.
Been a minute.
I know.
Recorded.
We've been traveling.
Yeah.
We should talk about that a little bit, and then we got some clip reviews.
Yeah. So I took my staff to the DR. Half my staff's in Colombia, half's here. So like it was their first time all meeting. Some Maribel I got through you initially, Abogados Americanos, but it was such a janky resort. It was the Rio.
What city in the DR? This is in
Punta Cana.
Okay.
And I didn't realize when I booked it, like originally I was going to do a villa with like a chef and stuff, but it was hard to find one with like enough rooms for everybody. So I like found this resort. It was all inclusive.
Having people share rooms, they don't know each other. You got girls and guys.
Even though I'm sure they would have been fine sharing, but either way, I got everybody their own room, but it turned out to be like a party resort. Like it was adults only.
Well, this is a party law firm showing up.
Yeah, exactly. So it was cool. The resort was fine, but the rooms were just so janky. Like almost every person had something wrong with their room. Like AC didn't work, toilet didn't flush, shower didn't work. There were bugs. Like it was pretty gross. But the reviews were good. So I assume it's just like a bunch of like 18-year-olds for spring break that's like, this is awesome. Free booze. I could drink at 18.
Oh, so it was like all-inclusive?
Yeah, it was all-inclusive. I should have known by the price that it was going to be janky, but...
How many pesos are we talking?
It was $660 total for 4 nights, all-inclusive, like per, room or whatever, so... Pretty cheap. Nothing crazy happened. We had a few injuries. Multiple people injured their toes doing like different shit. One girl fell when we were leaving the strip club and like hurt her leg pretty bad.
Leaving the strip club?
Yeah. I went to the strip club with my staff. That was cool.
I will not.
A lot of them is their first time.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
I thought about like we're really close to one of the strip clubs, so I'm taking my law firm to their annual trip tomorrow, and so we are really close to Faz Dos, which is one of the two like biggest strip clubs there. But I'm not taking. It's also like mostly females. It's not like I've taken.
The females enjoy it.
Well, I know they do, but it's you taking them. I think that's just different.
Yeah.
And if Shafi could come, it'd be one thing. Got my wife there.
We'll get like Lizzo'd or something though. Maybe though. I don't know if they're gonna, Like,
I feel like it's easy. You can get away with that. I'm not sure if I can. One time I took Sebastian and Darius. That was a lot of fun. This is when Sebastian was visiting Atlanta, and he wanted to go to the we went to the Claremont Lounge. He just wanted there's a quote, a big black booty man. And he got that there.
He definitely did. Goldie?
Goldie, that was the
Is that the
chick,
one with the big titties?
That's the white chick who famous. That's Daisy. Is that Goldie? No, Blondie.
Blondie. Okay.
Yeah, but she's. I don't remember seeing her there that time, but I obviously know of.
Yeah.
The lore of the lady who crushes beer cans with her boobs.
Right. Yeah.
Gross. But yeah, no, mine would probably be on the tamer side of things.
Yeah.
We're doing. I'm trying to think of anything cool. We're gonna watch. No, we're going to like a sports bar to watch the first game of the NFL season.
Oh, nice.
And it'll
Do
end
they
at like.
care about the NFL?
They're gonna do it this week.
They will this week.
Yeah. And then also it ends at 6:00 Columbia time, so we'll be bed in time for a early start the next day. But nothing too crazy on this trip.
We were supposed to work and do a team meeting and be like, working together for the first time, but we gave up on that. Like, first of all, it's a party resort. They didn't even have a meeting room. Like, nobody's going there to do meetings. So we tried to meet other places, but it was like too hot, too loud. And then like the alternative was to just do it over Zoom. And I was like, well, fuck that. We might as well do it when we get back if we're still just all on Zoom. So yeah, we didn't do any work. But
I'm trying to do like a core values workshop. I did it last time, and so I'm kind of excited about that. It's like hard to pull off. It's a little corny, a little flowery. So like that's how we decided our firm core values last time. We did all these stupid little games. Like we did a Winventory where you like the last week, and then you keep going larger increments back, like give us a big win. And so just like probing people and then you like all these different games to kind of like talk about things that like, I don't know, that are like core to what you guys do. And you start seeing common words and stuff like that. And then we all kind of brainstormed and pulled it together. So for me to kind of synthesize our core values, or I call them the Pain Pros principles. But at the last one, so now we're running it back to kind of like see if those are our values. I don't know. I kind of bought into some little like business course type thing, and we're giving it a shot.
Cool.
But yeah,
we don't have any core values. Get that shmoney.
Get that money.
Yeah,
that could work. But yeah, what about you? You were somewhere else too before that, didn't you? Go to like London or something crazy?
I did. I went to London for the first time, and it was really cool. Only weird thing, and not to sound like Trumpy or anything, I'm not saying this like it's a bad thing, but I didn't hear a British accent the whole time I was out there. Like, there was no Brits. It was all like immigrants and tourists. Even like people working places weren't like from the UK. It was weird.
So you're hearing just lots of, like North
European
Africa
accents. Like, I didn't even see that many North Africans. Well, there's a lot of Arabs. Let me take
Indians,
that back. Yeah, just everything, really. Everything but Brits. Yeah.
That's interesting.
But I didn't I've never really wanted to go to the UK. It didn't seem like that cool, but I really liked it. Like, I would go back to London. Have you been?
I've been once. It was kind of like a extended layover
somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, I was there for like a fun night, and then I left so early I couldn't even get Nando's again.
Damn, we didn't even get Nando's while we were there. I have to go back.
Well, now it's not as necessary because they have it in Norcross.
Where is it? Oh, it's in Norcross.
Well, Norcross and in Dunwoody. Like,
is it good?
It's amazing.
Oh.
I had it for the first time in London and wanted to go back. I almost missed my flight to wait till 10:30 to go, but I was like, all right, fine. And then when I went to Chicago, I found out that's one of two cities, Chicago and D.C., that at the time were the only ones that had Nando's in the United States.
Nice.
So I was there for Lollapalooza, went every single day, went to Nando's. And
how was Lollapalooza? Jordan was saying, our mutual friend was saying it was like, eh.
Well, I mean, it was. I was really excited because like I go to all music festivals with my wife now, and she's like, real bougie, so we're always in super VIP. And like with him, I was like, I'm ready to go GA, like get drive, get up to the front. And we did a little bit of that, but then like Jordan, at one point, like we were talking to some people next to us, and these girls are looking for their friend. And they're like waving this blue bag in the air, and I was just joking. So I was like, "Hey, do you want me to hop on Jordan's shoulders, and I can wave for your friend?" And then she's like, "Oh my God, can we hop on your shoulders?" And I was like, "You can hop on. I'm married. You can hop on his shoulders."
Yeah.
And so she does, and finds her friend, and then like we kind of like that was like during T-Pain, so we're hanging out with them for the rest of T-Pain, say goodbye at the end. As soon as they walked away, Jordan's like, dude, my back. And he just like fucked his back and knee up.
Oh no.
And so I thought I was going to have
was it a larger lady or
no, it was just an older, getting older guy.
Wow.
And
he's like 25.
Well, it starts happening. That's when it
hilarious.
starts. But yeah, so then I thought I would have like, me and him just like, burrowing away through the crowd and stuff like that. And it was just as if I had my wife. I looking back, are you okay? Just like lead him through the crowd and stuff like that.
He's like, oh, can we go to super VIP?
Yeah.
My back hurts.
Yeah, we'll get Walker to pay for it. But
hilarious.
Yeah, it was fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. I realized I'm like deathly afraid of all like young kids.
Yeah.
It was like they don't have a frontal lobe. They're all up to no good. You know? So, but it was.
Dude, when we went to the weekend, like when I was like pulling up to the stadium, there's so many kids like with their butt cheeks out, and they were with their parents. Like literally, parents walking with kids with butt cheeks out. It was so weird.
Yeah, that was a fun concert too. That
was a really good concert.
Yeah. Well, should we get into some
let's
clip reviews?
Watch some clips.
All right, let me pull up the first. Oh, hell yeah.
This is a true story. A young couple rented a secluded cabin near Vail Mountain, Colorado for a romantic ski trip. The cabin was small but cozy, with that perfect log cabin smell. On the first night, the girlfriend's bag mysteriously moved from the living room to the bedroom. She was certain she hadn't touched.
They really went all out with this video. They made a whole animation.
I guess the AI easy to do now.
They were sure it had been off. The front door was still locked. Then they saw fresh, wet boot prints in the rug where neither of them had stepped. The boyfriend checked the cabin and found nothing. That night, while lying in bed, he called the Airbnb host just to be sure everything was okay.
Hey, were there any ghosts? Or,
hey, were there any ghosts in this Airbnb? I didn't see that in the listing.
Or did you like creep in and move my shit around a little bit?
Right.
Thus, he pulled the hidden door open and found a closet. Inside, crouched behind a box, was the cabin's host. The man tried to apologize, but the boyfriend grabbed him and found a stash of the girlfriend's underwear in the closet. The police arrested the host, but it took Airbnb a month.
Of course
That's what you're worried about?
Right.
Turned into a nightmare neither of them would forget.
I thought it was going to be that old guy from the other videos.
Yeah,
that,
they finally
caught
him.
Right. So many people send me that.
Well, all right. I think it's kind of wild that maybe it's just it's the editing, but that was the focus at the end. Like, and it took a whole month
to process. Yeah, seems like an afterthought. Who cares?
I mean, if that there's got to be like a news story and stuff, like body cam footage. I feel like we could do a deep
not just
dive
an animation.
Yeah, and that was in Colorado.
Apparently, there's some follow-ups.
Okay,
here.
there we go.
Wait, if it's haunted, does that mean we have to go to Vail and stay in this Airbnb again?
I guess
Do another Ouija board?
Hell yeah! I promise it was the ghost. It wasn't me.
Do I just turn it sideways? Or
We got to leave the dogs this time so we don't scare away the
Let me
spirits.
just follow them so I can stop asking.
Have you heard about the girl that almost got unalived by her Airbnb host?
No.
Okay, I saw on TikTok, her username is Mackenzie Jean, and basically her and her dad went to Vail. So they stayed at an Airbnb. She said it was like a sweet old lady who owns the house, and they were actually renting the basement from her. But she was like, I'm going to be out of town, but my roommate will be there. He will.
A little bit of a red flag there too.
Right.
Why
Why does the old lady have a roommate?
Exactly.
That's fine.
And to call him roommate and not like my nephew or caretaker
Yeah,
or some
exactly.
And then it gets so heated to the point where one of them says he's either going to do something bad to himself or to someone else. It goes on for a while and then it kind of cools off. She just goes back to sleep after that. Then they go skiing the next day. She comes back the next night. It starts happening again and they start screaming. And then it gets so loud that she's able to realize that it's the same person screaming. It's like the same voice, but they're just changing like the tone of their
straight Smeagol Gollum.
and like yelling at himself, having a conversation with himself, changing personalities or
Oh my God,
changing.
it's like split. I'm locked in.
And then he starts like banging on the floor and like scratching on the floor. And the room is right above the basement. So it's literally right above where they're sleeping. So he starts like scratching on the floor and stuff like that.
What's the dad doing?
I guess he's just asleep because I don't know if the basement has multiple rooms. Like I think it might just be her room that's
Okay.
right under this. Either the next night or the same night. The same thing happens again. And then it escalates even farther to where he starts coming down the stairs and banging down the stairs and then going in front of the basement door
What?
and just stand. And then going
The other
back
host.
upstairs and then fighting.
I know. Gasp.
She goes and looks to make sure that that's what he's doing. And he comes and she sees the shadow of his feet come and stand in front of the door.
No.
And then he starts putting his fingers under the door.
Oh my gosh.
I know. Literally so scary.
Fingers.
Yeah.
Not the fingers.
Door and then goes back up and then comes back down and does it again and then jiggles the doorknob.
Oh my gosh.
And as soon as he starts jiggling the doorknob, she goes to get her dad, which I'm like, what?
Why'd you wait that long to get your dad?
So the dad, they get a knife out of the kitchen and the dad's like looking and they're like, what's going on? And he's still doing it. So
Did you
they
chop the fingers off?
I was just about to say that.
no, they call the police and then they escape out of like the window. There's like a little window in the basement that like goes to the backyard. So they escaped at the window and called the police. He left at some point. I don't know if he like heard them leaving or heard the police or something, but the guy left. And so there was nothing that the police could really do. They tried contacting the Airbnb host and she said that like nothing like that has ever happened before. He's a nice Christian man. He's on a mission.
Christians never do anything fucked up.
Never had that problem before.
A
And
nice Christian man.
yeah, I don't know. I think they went and stayed somewhere else. Anyways, long story short, they were fine. But it's like, could you imagine being in that situation?
Okay, so instead of us watching clips, could we just like tell each other, like, have you heard this story like these bitches are doing? Is that better? We're like watching somebody tell a story that they heard instead of like, I don't
Should we
know,
try and tell it and then watch it so you have like a little, you could like,
Okay, yeah, we could do
Yeah.
that. Like, have you heard about this story, blah, blah, blah? Because this is kind of like somebody's telling us a story about somebody else, and we're like watching that person tell that story and talking about it.
that's a lot of, that's TikTok.
But usually it's a reaction video to an actual video of something happening or something. So this is the Mackenzie Jean
I want to see
girl.
if it's the one we actually heard or not, but let's start with part one of her Airbnb story.
Who smiles so hard talking about almost getting murdered?
Here's the story. So my dad and I take a yearly skiing trip. We always go to Colorado and we go ski in Vail, and we always get an Airbnb because that's how we roll. I think just like with everybody else, there's always like this underlying fear in the back of your head, like what if something were to happen? I always feel the same way, like in an Uber too. Like, are you ever really sure who you're renting this home from, and is it actually secure, or can they just break in the middle of the night and do something crazy? So this specific Airbnb that we stayed at was like the basement of a home.
That was your first mistake.
And we rented it from this really nice older woman who we met when we got there. So we got to the Airbnb, we met her, and she let us know that she would not be staying in the home while we were there for the weekend, but that she had a roommate and that he worked a lot and that he would come in late at night and go to sleep in his room upstairs, and that we would have the entire basement to ourselves and we wouldn't be bothered. So we go to sleep on the first night, we have no issues, we wake up the next day, we go skiing, and then we come back for the evening. I took the bed that was closest to the stairs, and my dad was in a room that was like on the other side of the basement, kind of like farther away from the door to the upstairs. Okay, so I go to sleep on the second night and I'm starting to kind of drift off, and then all of a sudden I hear this guy upstairs and he's talking to someone, and they're like yelling back and forth, and this conversation is getting pretty heated. I couldn't exactly hear what they were saying at first, but as they came into the room, I realized quickly that the room that he was staying in was right above the room that I was sleeping in. And I started to hear that the one guy was yelling at him that he was like such a screw up and that he could never do anything right, and they were cussing and all of these things. And then the guy that I assumed lived there started to respond and say that he knows and that he might as well just off himself, and they continued to go back and forth until I started to notice that the voices that I was listening to talk back and forth were actually the same voice, but the guy was just changing the way that his voice sounded and the inflection in his voice as he was talking to himself and then responding back to himself. So I got freaked out, but eventually like he kind of stopped doing this and it got quiet, and I assumed he went to sleep, and so I nodded off and I went to bed. Next night, come home, drifting off to sleep. He comes home, I hear him enter the house, and the same thing starts over, but this time it's like even worse. He starts to throw things, stomp on things, and he's yelling to and from himself to.
There would not have been a second night for me after the first night. What the hell?
Angry, negative self-talk, and then him responding.
We've seen this before.
Yeah.
We're David Browning right now.
Did we see the original video, or did we?
We had to have, because this is the exact same story. The dad with the knife.
Yeah, but I feel like maybe we did a reaction. We did a reaction to a reaction video instead of the original.
Really
Either way, we've done this too much.
Well, I guess we got to finish this one then.
That we were down there. At that point, I hear him start to run down the stairs, and he would like run down the stairs and
that you wouldn't have all those details, like every single one. I know that we're talking about telling the story ourselves.
Yeah.
But like no one's gonna be able to.
I don't know. She doesn't look familiar to me, but who knows?
Visually,
no.
Nothing.
Yeah, same. But I watched clips of our own clips and don't remember it. I like laugh like I'm hearing it for the first time at things that I said.
Those were hilarious.
Yeah.
His feet, and when he runs down the stairs, he gets really quiet, and he would like creep up to the door and stand there, and just the shadows of his feet would be below like the door. And
it's also weird for the basement door thing to be at the bottom. Usually it's at the top of the steps.
Is it at the bottom?
That's what she's describing.
Oh, are those the steps that he's running up and down, or the basement
exactly.
ones? Yeah,
like
that is weird.
I guess you could have one on both sides, but
yeah.
Run down the stairs again and come and start jiggling on the door handle and trying to move the door. So I went and I got my dad and I woke him up and I was like, hey, the guy that lives upstairs.
It took all that for her to wake her dad up.
Mental episode, and he is trying to currently break into the basement. What do we do? So my dad wakes up and he comes out and he's like, what's happening? He comes.
I mean, I guess either way we've done this before, right? Whether it was reaction video or the real video.
It's just crazy. I think we've really seen this exact video, and Trey has footage of us doing that exact.
Probably.
Go click on her and go to part 2. She has a part 2 and 3, and that's what I would really want to see if it's different.
How do I click on
realize that this man
Nope, these are her stories.
is not in his right mind, and that.
Just watch.
Click on that, and that'll take you right down to. All right, so scroll up a little. Part 2.
Where's part 2? Oh.
This is part 2 of the story where my dad and I thought we were going to be unalived in an Airbnb basement.
No. Turn down that music.
Like this one, how long was this happening before you woke him up? Oh my gosh.
Is she gonna fight with the music the whole time?
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how long this goes.
You can't even hear her.
Is this real?
Do I have something playing in the background?
It's gotta be. No.
No. That's terrible. And she still has 1,100 likes.
Maybe they're just fans of that song.
Right. All right, well. Either way.
You want to do part 3?
No.
Are we giving up on Mackenzie?
We are.
So here's the house. Looks kind of cute, doesn't it? Until until you realize you're going to be greeted when you get here by overflowing trash cans.
Maybe it's not trash day till tomorrow.
Right.
What was the first second criticism?
I don't know. She cut it off.
Has it mowed? That is not months, lady.
Right.
Wow, I hate her already.
Hardly see my shoes anymore. I'm just saying.
We can see all of your shoes.
We brought a dog. I'm not letting my dog out in this yard. Number one, because what's in this yard? And number two, what's living in there?
Who the fuck cares?
Also, call me crazy, but I expect
You're not buying the house. Like, relax.
trash and junk.
That's not.
all
Where's
over the yard.
Where's the trash and junk? Those are pavers.
Oh,
You mean they've been
and
broken?
Do you want to sit on the patio? Because it also
What?
hasn't been cleaned in God knows how long.
It's outside.
What do you?
Yeah, hope you don't like getting poked, because that feels real comfortable, doesn't it? You ready? So you can open the door, but good luck closing it.
You just closed it.
roommates, because if not, they've got some for you. Hi guys, having a good
The
time?
first real
Too
thing
long?
she showed.
And where are you?
And you thought they were gonna clean before you got
Somewhere
Is
in
that like-
Texas.
I'm saying, like, is that like in the corner of like the laundry
Right. Is
room?
that
It
the
looks weird.
garage?
It's like
Sure to agree with you.
all right, there's some dirt or whatever, but that's also under a bed, and the rest of the stuff looks like they have like nice floors, right? So
Yeah.
what she showed right there looked like it's like in like the garage.
Some dark corner of a garage
Yeah.
or something.
I hate this lady.
Me too.
How long have you been there?
Should have found that, but I mean,
Yeah.
I bet you only thought that all refrigerators had handles. Not this one. Nope. No handles to be
can you just
seen.
grab it on the side there
Right.
really easily?
You're carrying a plate of pasta you're trying to get in the fridge.
Of course you're carrying a plate of pasta.
Say that they have like quality linens. Not this one. Here you go.
Yeah, this one probably didn't say that they had
cheap,
quality
right?
linens because it was
That's
$20.
Here we go. Let me. This is what we got.
What's the bad about that?
A fitted sheet and a little comfortlet.
It seems like it covers the whole
I'm
bed.
sure they wash that every single time they have a guest.
Now you're just speculating, lady.
That's just a matter of taste.
I think this Airbnb was $259 a night. It was basically $500 for 2 nights.
It's a whole house. That's pretty reasonable.
And then when I contacted the host and co-host,
Bad shit, lady.
I gave them a couple hours to respond to me. And
A couple hours.
from the timestamp that the person who's apparently the owner had read my message 2 minutes after I sent it. 3 hours later, I got a response from the co-host who told me, "Oh, I'm sorry, I've had a family emergency that I've been dealing with," which is fine. And typically I would take that. But again, somebody else saw the message and didn't bother to respond to me. And when I told her
What a Karen.
she's the owner, she doesn't run the Airbnb, I do.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Love the blinking.
Shouldn't somebody be taking care of my problems in like real time?
She said she had a family emergency.
Spend the night here. We're checking out. It's 4th of July weekend in San Antonio. San Antonio is one of the largest 4th of July destinations in the United States.
Really? That's
Does it?
random.
You know how many choices I had? Yeah. So, yeah.
What does
Do you
your
know
fucking
about
house
this
look like?
Airbnb?
Right,
I
In
don't-
exactly.
San Antonio, Texas.
I mean,
It's anything like that bun.
I'm not trying to be racist, but
You will not be happy.
she lives in a trailer.
When you
So she
I
does.
think you're allowed to say that.
owner and host, you will just be met with attitude and excuses. And the funniest part to me is some of this is stuff they chose to do.
Oh, like what?
I was told that they chose to not use the handles on the fridge.
What do you mean? Like
I was told
that
that
we
they
now just
chose
let it
not to fix the shed in the back because guests aren't using it. Okay,
Fair.
that might be, but if I'm paying over $200 a night to stay here, I don't want to look at that. At least slap a fucking...
It was like a hole at the bottom of the fucking shed,
At
all
the
the way in the
corner
back
of
of the
the
yard.
yard.
Don't
That's
look at
absurd.
it
There's
then.
also a bag of somebody else's dog poop by the back door.
It's outside. Trash hasn't come yet.
Like, gross. Really, really gross. So, yeah. San Antonio, Texas. You saw what the house looks like. Do not rent this house. Oh, and also, let me tell you what Airbnb did for us. after essentially being forced to stay here because it was 9 o'clock at night before, almost 9:30 at night before the owner bothered to get back to, I'm sorry, not the owner. She doesn't run the place. Gabrielle runs the place, the co-host.
That is literally every Airbnb,
before
bitch. Like,
Gabrielle, the co-host, could go out to us. It was like 9:30 at night. So obviously, we weren't going anywhere. I had people that were already asleep. It was too late at night to find something else. Like, ridiculous. So what was Airbnb's response? They discounted last night for 30% and gave me a full refund today.
That's amazing. I love hearing that.
Yeah.
That reminds me of every time I've had a person like that stay at my place and they complain about bullshit, and then like you win, like they bitch and like we gotta give them a little something,
right.
And it's 30% instead of like the whole refund, which is what can happen because
that has now taken up the majority of today because now we have to move to an entirely new Airbnb.
I hate her bun even more though.
My husband's birthday yesterday was ruined by this.
Wasn't by his wife,
right?
Trying to get away from you. He's like, well, I had to move across the world to get away from my mom. So.
I told her the situation and that it is raining outside right now and we have no place else to go, and she's letting us check in immediately. So at least she's good. But yeah, very unsatisfied with what Airbnb did for it.
22 and never a complaint when those are her complaints. I don't buy it.
Yeah,
I don't buy it.
There's no way.
That's like probably the only time she's like not been given her full refund or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Do not like, what was her name again?
Probably Karen.
Karen.
I don't think that was her name, but still.
I felt kind of Karen recently. I had to like, this guy wouldn't let me into, me and Ghost into, to the painted park.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, he's a service animal. And then he was, calling it emotional support. And I was like, well, this is the difference. And eventually he was like, no. And I was like, I mean,
0821.
I don't want to have to, get you, tell on you, buddy, but you're forcing my hand.
I know.
I was like, all right, well, I'm going to write an email. And I was like, all right, what's your name? And then like I turned my AI note taker on and I say that. And then me and my buddy are leaving. And so I'm bitching about it. I'm like, I'm going to shoot him an email, that asshole. And then I go to ask my AI note taker. I'm like, hey, what was the spelling of his name? And it tells me, and it goes, do you want me to draft that email that you were talking about?
Fuck yeah, that's awesome.
I know.
What is this AI note taker? I need that.
Oh yeah, I'll send it to you. It's awesome.
The worst Airbnb you've ever seen? Clearly you've never watched our show.
San Antonio, Texas.
You're gonna probably not like watching it now.
Right.
Let me show
All right.
you the shithole.
I forgot she came in so hot.
All right.
Let me show you this shithole.
She was like, I have a spooky, scary story time about renting an Airbnb with my boyfriend last Christmas for a week, and it was the most terrifying experience I've ever had in my life. I'm so excited for this story.
Did she speed this up or did she talk this fast?
This is real, I think.
Hayden and her boyfriend decided they were going to go away for Christmas. They were going to get a mountain cabin.
Hayden is a girl?
Because they couldn't decide on whose family to go to.
Very Gen Z of
Not been
them.
together that long. Also kind of together long, so it was just like easier if they just did the Christmas themselves and then dealt with it this year. So they booked this 1 week stay at a cabin. It has great reviews. Hayden reads the reviews before she books it. Great reviews, super host status. The only thing that a lot of the reviews said was that the driveway was super steep, so to make sure you had 4-wheel drive. So Hayden's like, no problem.
4-wheel drive for the driveway is nuts.
Right.
They're like, why?
It's a car. It can go up the driveway.
And they come across a black
That makes me think it's
like a huge
steep as fuck.
It's not matted. It looks well taken care of. And it's just stopped in the middle of the road and it's staring at them and they can't pass because it's a narrow road. So they just wait. The dog runs into the woods. They're like, okay, weird, but whatever. There's not really any other houses as they pull up to this alone cabin. So they get there, they check it out. It's a nice place, super clean. Everything is in it.
She actually talks this fast.
So she's just like, being a little nosy.
She didn't appear to be getting tired.
What do her knuckle tattoos say?
Hallway off the living room, like leading back to the bedrooms. It was a one-story house.
Did not expect those on her.
Yeah.
The door and it's locked, and she's like, okay, whatever.
MS-13?
She doesn't think anything of it. They're just hanging out. Like they have a bottle of gin and they have a bottle of something else. I forgot what she said. Later that night, Hayden wakes up because she hears whispering. And
I thought you were zooming in on the knuckles.
Hey, do you hear that?
Right,
She's her boyfriend. And he's like, yeah, who is that? And so they look out the window. They don't see anything, but they're just like, somebody is whispering. And so they go out to the living room, make sure the TV's off, everything's off. They get back in bed, whispering stops. Hayden woke up pretty early. She said there was a time change from where she lived. And so she was just up a little bit earlier than she was used to. The sun was coming up. It was like just rising, so pretty early. She's laying in bed for a little while, just like listening to the quiet, and she hears something rustling outside the window. So she's like, oh, there's an animal out there. So she wakes up, she like opens the blinds and like peeks out and she can't see anything. So she's like, okay, weird, whatever. She goes out to the kitchen and makes some coffee and she sees that the gin bottle is empty. Her and her boyfriend had gone to bed at the same time, and she said that they had maybe like 4 drinks out of that bottle. So when he woke up later, she was like, oh, did you wake up last night and like, have some more drinks without me? Like just kind of playing around. She's like, you finished the bottle? And he was like, no, I didn't. And she was like, No, you did. And she said it really bothered her because she thought he was lying about being like closet alcoholic or something. But later on, they're like downtown in like a cute little shop area, and he brings it up to her because she orders a drink at a bar that they're at, and he's like, hey, I think we should talk about your drinking. Like, I know that you finished that bottle of gin and you didn't want to tell me. You like tried to make it seem like I did it, but like I know that you did it. And she was like, I didn't finish that bottle. But whatever, they're there. So they have a drink together, they have dinner, they go back to their Airbnb, and they were like not fighting, but she said like the energy was off. So that night, like pretty
They
soon
both think the other's an alcoholic.
It's interesting the way it divides them.
Right.
That night, she wakes up to a noise that sounds like a car door being slammed. And she looks next to her. Her boyfriend's there. So she's like, what is going on? So she looks out through the blinds and she sees headlights in the driveway. So she wakes her boyfriend. She's like, somebody's here. And he's like, what do you mean? And she's like, look outside the window. Like, there's a car out there. And so he looks and he's like, this is weird because the cabin that they were renting was like not by any other cabin. So at first, her boyfriend's trying to convince her, like, okay, well, maybe it's just somebody that's like turned around on these mountain roads, like they're trying to go back down, they're just trying to figure out where they are, and like a lot of people don't have service. So Hayden goes out to the living room.
Right, they went all the way up the steep driveway, lost.
Like maybe get a plate or something.
Maybe looking for a turnaround.
In case anything happens, and she notices that now, in the time it took her to walk from the bedroom to the living room, they have flashed their brights on. So now, like, their whole living room is lit up with these brights. Side note for anyone who saw the video that I posted yesterday about being in the Smoky Mountains, this is the story that I was reading when those brights were behind me. That's why I freaked out. Anyway. Floodlights coming through the living room window.
Reading. She saw a TikTok about it.
I'm gonna call the cops. So he steps outside.
I do that when I'm like reading a book, listening on Audible.
Like, hey, call the cops. So she calls, and as like he's yelling at this car, it like backs down the driveway and takes off. The last night Hayden was there, she woke up to someone whispering her name. And so she was like, oh, that was a really vivid dream. But then she wakes up and she hears them whisper, Hayden, again. And she jumps up, sits up in bed. She looks out the window, there's nobody there. So she like smacks her boyfriend. She's like, get up, somebody's here. They call the cops again because they're convinced like someone is on the property. Cops come, can't find anything. They take the report, and Hayden has had enough. She messages the host. The host was like super nice, refunded her the rest of the nights, the 4 nights that they didn't stay. And Hayden leaves, and she says like at this point, she's convinced that there was somebody else in that Airbnb. Now, she said it was a standalone property, but the only thing that she keeps thinking of is that locked room. She said she scoured the reviews. There was nothing else about hearing whispering or headlights or anything like that. She said she's curious to what you guys think because it's been a year, but she still said she thinks about it and she will never come back to the mountains. I feel like I've heard a story similar to this about like maybe a squatter or somebody staying in an Airbnb, but also like why would the host not have other reviews about this situation?
You know, wait, who's Hayden to you? That one. I mean, yeah, just like it's not a real. I'm also a little curious as like how because if I get a message from my guest and it's like it's haunted, I hear so excited.
Yeah, I'm not refunding.
I'd be like, no, it's not. Ghosts aren't real, stupid.
Exactly. And they don't drive cars. I don't know if she's insinuating that it's haunted or that
there's someone else there. Yeah, but it'd also be like, all right, well, that's also not true.
Yeah, there is nobody else there, but maybe there was because they refunded it.
Yeah, it's true. All right, that gives it a little. Maybe it's not as.
They got scared and refunded. Because if there was nobody there and it's obviously not haunted, why would she have refunded it? Okay, I think that's all the emphasized ones. So now we could just do regular ones.
Click on here real quick, see if there's a part 2. Just want to see.
Okay.
A girl named Hayden emailed me. She was like, I have a spooky story.
Emailed her. Okay.
Why would somebody just randomly email her this story?
No one emails us spooky stories.
Right.
Hey guys, if you have a spooky story, you want to email us.
Spooky, scary story time is like what her profile's about. See, and now there's not a last watched one.
I never know why there's one sometimes.
Randomly, sometimes there, sometimes not.
A bunch of 16-year-olds just checked out of the Airbnb. Y'all, what is this? Is this what I think it is? And then I look over here and I see something, says something about tampons on the paper. Y'all have to let me know what you think. A bunch of 16-year-olds are packing up and heading out of this Airbnb right now. So let's go see how they did. But yeah, on the booking itself, it had a man.
Why is this out of order?
Definitely no man staying here. So I don't know if a parent or just some adult, a friend of theirs, booked for them.
That's definitely what happened.
Just like fidgeting,
Slightly
moving scissors to their proper place.
Exactly.
4 inches off.
Scissors are supposed to be 2 inches away.
Lots of questionable items.
Pointer to the, pointing into the ball.
Face cleanser.
It is open though, so you guys, like, I'm just going back and forth. Do I keep it? Do I toss it? It was a $40 face cleanser.
Right.
I guess. Why are you using the same stuff that 16-year-olds use?
16-year-olds do use like expensive ass products now. Like they have skincare routines. We had Clearasil wipes and Neutrogena face wash back in my day, and that was it.
And what was the shit that made you do?
Right. What are the what? Oh yeah, I know. We
like
did
the
not
makeup
have
tutorials?
like makeup tutorials. Exactly.
Yeah, the contouring these young people can do nowadays.
Wait, remember what was the face wash that was like all menthol-y that felt like
I'm not.
Noxzema?
What was the one that made people depressed and like fucked with?
What?
Yeah, there's one that was like it was for acne, and you took it, and it like literally made people.
Accutane?
I forget it. It like had an effect on people's mental health.
Oh. No, it's like a pill, right?
It's a pill you took.
Yeah, I think it's Accutane.
And it's like, well, I'm gonna be depressed if I get made fun of for these zits, but I'm gonna be depressed
Right.
afterwards because I hate my life. Yeah, I've never done it.
I think maybe for hormonal acne or something.
Oh.
But anyways.
Let's see what else these kids are up
just
to.
feels so wrong to throw
This
away
looks
something
very
like that.
normal,
I know, it's
especially
like
for
they
teenagers.
missed a random little
A
wrapper
water
here.
cap, water bottle top.
Using anything opened at
Look,
all.
oh, there was a couple little wads that
other
missed the
than
trash
that,
can.
It's really just cleaning items.
Yeah, it is.
Sure, you always check
Into your beds. I found lots of garbage under here, and that white thing right there, I cannot show that.
She thinks it's a drug.
Right.
It wasn't even really anything but a muscle relaxer, but you know, TikTok was.
It was a
gonna
pill.
violate
I
Well,
guess.
she's looking into like everything.
And
She
I
like
found
found out the
some, and
value.
She looked up the pill to see what it
yeah,
was.
which I'm sure there's tons of apps now, but I remember back in the day there was like a website you could like look up pills and see what they
I
were.
just Google it.
And now you
Yellow
can
pill with
AI it.
79 on the back.
Yeah, that'll probably work too.
And yeah, here we go again.
Neosporin?
There's that. Like,
Wow.
I don't know what that is. I don't know.
Well, let's put the clues together, man.
Right, exactly.
There's a tampon
like,
thing.
I don't know.
You guys, if you ever stay anywhere and you stain something up like that, just toss it. And then what is this? What is that?
That's makeup
So
fingers,
many
dummy.
questionable things.
Or bloody fingers.
I've been doing this now for 10 years. I always say questionable things.
I
But-
cannot
but
believe
yeah.
she's been doing it for 10
Then
years
find
to be
random
like,
And is that
"Whoa."
shocked about stuff
Oh
like
my
this.
goodness.
Yeah.
Make sure you
We
check
got
your
an
own
extra
stuff.
20.
Because I'm going to assume that there was a lot of stuff setting on this dresser and it got pushed up under. And then I found some random earrings. They almost look brand new. I don't think they're real, but I still have them just in
I'm surprised she didn't give us, like the store they're from and what they're.
I know, right?
These are
from
$3.99.
Claire's.
to look this up. I'm telling you. It looks really nice, but again, it's opened. So
I don't
It's
know.
literally
would-
soap. Like,
yeah,
who cares if it's open?
If I
Oh
thought
no!
that was,
Why does this bitch keep coming back?
you're haunting us. What's her name? I want to know her name, but like, what's her handle?
Jacelyn Ryan. She looks like a fucking Jacelyn Ryan.
Yeah, she does. God.
Ryan, I guess maybe. But
She's
there's an E
basically-
at the end, like Ryan.
Yeah, she's kind of got 3 names in one.
Right. Jacelyn. Ryan and maybe 4. Ryan. And, all right. Anyways.
That looks like it's been 3 weeks tops. That
Right.
yard. I got a neighbor whose shit looks like a little jungle. Like that's what it's just like
Yeah.
everyone's seen a not mowed yard.
Especially in the summer, like that
Right?
shit grows in like 2 days.
Especially in San Antonio.
Right. It's
would
all
think.
humid.
I have never once in all of my time of using this app complained about a brand or a company because it would take them doing something completely immoral for me to even bring it up. But the experience that I just had with Airbnb is
You see how it says
beyond
2-speed
me
at the
insane.
top?
So grab your
Yeah.
popcorn,
Is she
do
already
makeup,
talking
whatever
twice
you wanna
speed?
do. Listen to this story because if you're a woman
This
that uses
seems
Airbnb
pretty normal
to
Or is
travel
she
alone,
recommending?
or you're a man, doesn't even matter. It's
Oh,
it's
maybe,
unsafe
yeah.
for
Maybe
everybody,
she's
but
recommending
speaking
it.
from
I don't know, but
experience,
that's interesting.
You might
Yeah.
want to reconsider
It's probably a
using
Gen Z
Airbnb.
thing or something.
Like, I will never
they
use
do now.
Airbnb again after this.
Let me paint the scene. So I had to go to New York for a funeral. Already not a fun time, but I get to my Airbnb and there's the cleaning lady. She's still there. Even though this goes against their policies of having someone in the unit upon entry, I didn't care about this. I was just like, finish your job, whatever, la la la. And I jump into the bed in the Airbnb and I start looking at TikToks, and then 10 minutes later she's gone. 10 minutes pass and I hear the rustling of a doorknob. I hear someone trying to get into a unit. Mind you, this is a big house and it's a duplex, so there are a few units in this place. I don't even know how many. So I just immediately assumed that someone was trying to get into one of the other units based on how old the house was and how hollow it was. I just didn't think anything of it. And then I hear beep, 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 zzz, and I'm like, that sounds a lot like someone typing in a code.
To
Is this
unlock
all
the
about
door. So
the
I go
concept
out
of shared
into
room
the
Right.
or
hallway
shared
of the
space
Airbnb, and what
versus
do I
private?
find? It is a 6'5" beefy dude
I heard
scary
buh.
looking, okay? Scary
We
looking.
thought it was a 6
Feet,
foot.
right.
Like, all on his own, scary looking. So I'm trying not to freak out, but I'm like, hey.
6'5" blind
what's up?
guy.
What are you doing here? And he says, I'm looking for my ID.
And I'm like, okay, well, I'm not the host. I think you should call the host about this. You have to leave. And I'm still being nice, but he's now in the apartment with the door shut behind him, not leaving. And he's telling me, well, can you just go look? Can you just go look for my ID? I walk backwards into the living room because I don't want to turn my back to this dude. And I'm looking in the apartment for his ID. And I'm like, nope, I'm sorry, it's not here. You have to call the host. And again, you got to leave. He pauses. He looks at me up and down, and then he's like, are you sure that it's not here? Now, I don't know what the fuck you're trying to get at, dude, but like, you need to leave. I was like, at that point, I was freaking out, and I was basically just like backing him into the door and opening it up on my own to get him out. And by the grace of God, after 10 minutes of telling this man, this stranger, to leave the Airbnb, he finally leaves. I immediately call the host. She is not only unapologetic, but she then tells me that, oh, she doesn't change the code to the back door because there's a chain lock. Does it look like there's a chain lock on this door? I don't know, I could only tell because there was a stranger in my fucking Airbnb. So basically what she was saying, what she was admitting, was that anybody that has ever stayed at this Airbnb has had access to this Airbnb at any time on any given day. So I immediately leave. I already feel unsafe. I'm like, this is 10 minutes into being here. Like, I have no idea what could happen at night. I'm freaking out. It's not a nice part of
Should have let that guy know so he can go in there and check for his.
Right, let him stay and protect you.
Support. Why they call it support, I have
no clue at all. If their job is to make you frustrated, gaslight you, and make you exhausted, and to the point where like
you
dude,
just
the most
completely
like
give up on getting a refund or
Valley
getting a
girl,
hotel,
like
really
Gen
Like,
Zers
really
now
good
have
at
like
that,
neck
even in
tats,
scenarios
like
where they have violations of
Surprised
their
she
own
doesn't got a
policies that
teardrop
go against
couple-
your rights for
Right.
having safety and privacy in an Airbnb.
So 6 hours later, after arguing with Airbnb support, they finally agree to put me up in a hotel. It's now 9 o'clock at night, mind you. It is 20 degrees.
In upstate
When is
New
this
York.
funeral?
And I just
Consider myself very blessed that I had family that could pick me up and take me to their place while I waited to get a hotel.
why didn't they
so
let
at
you
9,
stay
they
with
approved
them?
me to get a hotel, and then they tell me that they're not giving me a refund.
The neck tat.
Like, you
for
can't
the
stay with us, but
20
we'll drop you
minutes
off at the
that I
hotel
spent
up
in
the
this
street, not with those
Airbnb.
neck
30
tattoos.
minutes, I don't even know, but
Most of that time that I spent in that Airbnb, I was just frightened. Mind you, I am carrying all of my work equipment. I'm carrying my expensive camera gear. I'm carrying all of my hard drives, and I'm carrying
my
She looks
memory
like a
cards. And I'm not going to mention the worst thing that
event
could happen because I
photographer.
don't want to think about that.
Let's just say I was very lucky in this scenario. So here we are 2 weeks later. I've been arguing with Airbnb support this entire time. 2 weeks later. They said upon further investigation, they can't give me a full refund. They also never followed up about this particular Airbnb and how they were going to change the code for every new tenant. So I'm assuming that any person that books out that particular Airbnb will now be in danger and they won't know anything about it. Airbnb, I hope that you hear this. Your customers deserve better. Start taking responsibility for your failures because safety is not negotiable. That's all.
Well,
I bet that actually happens a lot because not all smart locks, like you can remotely change the code and like people aren't necessarily in the same town as their Airbnb and stuff. I
Yeah.
bet that is like really common,
I-
but that is pretty unsafe.
I have to like manually do it on my end. Like I have to just
Really?
go through and remove it. And like
I'm sure you change it every single time, right?
it's just like clockwork. Check out,
Yeah.
remove. Of course. Don't have hundreds of
Yeah.
But yeah, I
That's-
think people are, I guess if they're also relying on the hope that they don't show back up, you know? Like,
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
back to wherever
Like,
you
they don't
came
even
from.
live here. They're not going to come back, but yeah, that is pretty. Dude, I feel like Airbnb's on its way out. Like too much crazy shit's happening. I feel like somebody's going to get like murdered in an Airbnb or unalived. Can I say murdered? I don't know. In an
Unalived.
Airbnb that like somebody had reported sketchy shit for before and they didn't do anything and they're going to be hit with this huge lawsuit. I don't know. I feel like they're on their way out.
Yeah, but like I feel like on the way, I could buy that in the sense that like it starts, market share goes down, but I just don't see it going away. Like
completely.
Yeah, we just have gig economy. There's just.
I mean, not like anytime soon, but I feel like less and less people are liking Airbnbs these days just because of all the issues.
Yeah, but also,
and maybe people move more to like VRBO because, like, have you seen their new commercials? It talks about. I think they actually did. They no. That could have been a dream.
Listen to our
no, that they showed the old guy video, like the.
Oh, really?
I don't think that's what it was, but I think the premise of the commercial was them saying like, "Don't want a pushy host looking over your shoulder,"
they have
or
like
something.
the Saban one where.
That's what it is.
Yeah, he's just like, well, we do this at this time, and then we move on. Yeah, and so they're leaning into like, no, it's not like no house hacking.
Yeah,
this is a full-time Airbnb. You don't have to deal with.
Exactly. So I feel like people are going to move more towards that. And then plus they're probably going to, I'm sure they get hit with big lawsuits all the time, but it's going to be something like really bad that's like publicly bad, Because, I mean, we hear stories like this all the time where people report it and they don't do shit, where it's like a danger.
They need to have, obviously it's
like the one we did at the beginning where there's the crazy guy talking to himself trying to get in.
Yeah, exactly.
I bet that's still on Airbnb.
We need that to happen. Well, we don't want bad. If some bad things happen again, if they so happen to, they need to call us.
Right.
Well, the Payne Pros, Amercani Law Collabo, we'll help them there, and we'll interview them on our pod, tell the story there.
Exactly.
And
kill two birds with one stone.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, like that guy, the crazy guy, if they just let that stay up on Airbnb and like something way worse happens, they're liable. You guys knew, you didn't take it off the platform.
Exactly. We're coming for Airbnb.
Dude, we should make that our thing. Like we could be Airbnb attorneys. Like,
should we just like be like? I guess the thing is the injury. So should we just like be sitting ducks, like renting Airbnbs?
Right.
Go to these haunted ones. Like what is the one with the guys in the basement? It's just like, all right, I'm sitting here by myself. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm vulnerable. That would be funny. Gee, I left this door unlocked. I hope nothing crazy happens. Oh, that'd be hilarious. I wonder if there are attorneys that specialize in suing Airbnb. I'm gonna Google it.
Yeah, I've wanted to sue them many times, and this attorney never did. It just seemed complicated. Yeah, I'm sure this, and you got to sit on an NDA, I'm sure, so that's why it's not as we don't. That's why they don't come on. That's why we got to get them on our podcast first, tell the story, then settle.
There's a website called Ask a Lawyer on Call, and it says ask an Airbnb lawsuit. That doesn't make sense. But there's always NDAs involved and stuff so that it doesn't get out. Yeah, there's an Airbnb lawyer, globally recognized Airbnb attorneys, Traverse Legal.
Well, there's a couple of lawyers who run the best podcast in the world. So
exactly.
There's that,
We need to tap into this market. Why didn't we think of this sooner?
You were injured. Call us.
Right.
If you want to talk about
or,
it, or
maybe emotional distress.
Mm-hmm.
But I just called the police. They're going to send someone out.
Airbnb right now.
We've been staying at this Airbnb for over a week. We've noticed the door was locked and just assumed it was like a cleaner's
maybe she's so shook.
closet or whatever.
What's the?
And we didn't think anything of it. And so when my
monster movie where they're it has lots of like POV, like it looks like it's been shot.
Oh, the Blair Witch Project.
Well, that's a similar where they're running out the thing, but there it starts with a C. I want to say it was Cloverfield. Oh
yeah,
and it's all like kind of like, oh my God, they're here. That's the vibe I'm getting here. So
it is, but look how big her pupils are.
She didn't see a ghost.
My husband was walking around the house, checking the locks. He noticed that when it was unlocked, he opened the door. And someone was clearly living there. Okay, so the fact that it was locked a couple of days ago and now it's not locked. The person has been here.
Yeah, forgot to lock his.
Yeah.
And we've been staying here for a while.
I don't know if that's a police matter, dude. Just tell Airbnb.
So I really have no idea what's going on, but I'll let you know what the police find.
She's very methy. No? Wait, is that it?
You probably shouldn't be calling the cops over to your house in your condition, young lady.
Right. I gotta go. What am I talking about?
Oh, so do I close out then?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We are doing a show right now.
Well, guys, it's been another episode of What's My Opinion. That was Maha. Bye. I'm Ian, and we'll see you next time.